Welcome YouTube to another daily cast here. Sorry I missed today. Yesterday. This one is late. It's been hectic in university. But we do have Luyanara and CiontX X against opposition and FellFrog. So lowish game for the daily cast. That's the only one I found. There's one that just popped out, but it's too late to join. Um, So we'll focus on that one. We arrive a bit late. Uh, First load of the day, and we will probably come in at wave 2. So let's not touch anything. Here we go. We are reconnecting. It is written wave 1, and looks like it's the end of wave 1 here. So we won't miss much. The artifacts are already resolved, and so we do have a flower start from CiontX, a Luyanara going for a Trinity Archer start, or Elite Archer start, sorry. We do have a Green Devil start from position, and FellFrog going for a Badger plus Infiltrator. Wait, what? Wait, what? What did I say? Badger? Wait, why would you go Badger plus Infiltrator? Yeah, okay, well, that's a slow start if I ever saw one, and that might bite him back. But it looks like he will still be able to do quite well here. Well, he's stuck at 4 workers after receiving a 20 only. Luyanara probably going for some income. No, deciding to save, despite seeing the other guy overbuilding by quite a bit. Well, he didn't receive anything yet. He does receive the brute from now on. He does stay at 4 workers for now. He does have very decent units for wave 3. The brute, what he wants is that the brute goes onto this fork. Some of the wave goes onto the secret steed, and some of the wave goes onto the elite archer. The main point will be to snipe the brute. So let's see how it deals. Looks like there's way too much on the work here. Yes, the brute is on the work, but nothing is on the elite archer right now. And this will turn into the steed, and this will be a leak from Luyanara. 80 cent, always harsh. But that's partly because, well, yeah, Green Devil starts are always oppressive. But looks like it will be only a brute leak. Very close. Yes, it's a brute leak only. So, I mean, he'll take that. I think. Yeah, probably. I mean, this kind of leak early on when you are able to still push to 6 worker is not terrible. The only problem is that he wasn't 6 worker prior to that. But the saving grace is that yes, it's 80, but it's non-income plus it's not after income, so you're not 100% a loser on that one. And also there's a lot of pressure being relieved on you. You can only think about wave 5 and 6, even though you didn't think about wave 4 anyhow. So we do see Luyanara going for a shift. What will it turn out to be? That's another valid question. 80, 96, 140. So 140 plus. Okay, he's gonna want either the alpha male or the antler. Probably the alpha male. Well-rounded unit. Probably what he wants to go for. Let's see here the 80 cent against the Badger and Infiltrator with an APS now. Is it me or is this insane value for him? 425? I mean, even with insane value, he's struggling here because he didn't have that much damage or frontline that are efficient here. And so it is still a leak, a hold, sorry, not a leak, a hold. Uh, but yeah, I do think that the build does need some thinking. Um, and, what am I seeing? What is going on? All right, that's okay. So at least the buckler is not on the APS. So why this is a bad thing is that this is a tank unit, and this is very good when you buff uh, a damage unit like a ranger, like Adams, like anything. 100 cent here onto Luyanara on wave 5, one of his weakest wave. Did not get the alpha mill. That is quite surprising, and so the Linus is just not effective at all. And so it will be a big leak, and the 40 here is not enough to leak. The Badger plus an Infiltrator. And FellFrog is playing so safe here. 6 workers still after receiving 40 here, knowing that the opposition, Luyanara, was leaking to an income send, if anything. Oh, well, no. There's a brute, so not fully income. But CiontX is able to hold in the middle here. And 8 workers for Sion. We do have 7 workers on Luya. And so not looking too bad for him. So the Fiend coming for CiontX, still going for some income here. But still looks like he had a decent chance here on wave 6. Playing a bit of fire because he did see the Sea Serpent, so quarter was possibly possible. Okay, that's weird to say. Uh, More than likely possible. But 80 cents here, whisking up 60 recent. That's the brute. And now you have this little shared aggro with that Trinity, with that Elite Archer. But the lion, it needs to survive, and it doesn't survive, which is a huge, huge problem for Luyanara, because now he has a frontline, but no damage to back it up. But let's see how. Okay, looks like the quarter player is doing decently. It will be. Is it one Roko League or is it none? Looks like it will be one. Yeah, one Roko League. It's not the end of the world. I mean, it's one very low HP creep, while on the other side you have uh, two creeps uh, with a root, and so yeah, red more prepared to the recent here than blue was. But also wave 6 was quite weak for him. Yeah, Pierce here, Pierce here. Yeah, all of this stuff was Pierce. He's stuck at 7 workers, which is not ideal. He does decide to go for income here, but he relieves a lot of pressure, and he will still end up behind workers compared to the others. We do have CiontX still going for some income here. And yeah, 100 cent here after income on Tuluya, it looks like, yes. And opposition receiving a 60 and 140 on FellFrog. Looks like we will have our first side of weakness here for FellFrog. And opposition is doing, against all odds, quite good here. The imps are doing work here on wave 7, but not the ideal send. Yes, you do see a lot of nature defense, but if by any chance he has a fortified or arcane defense unit, normally you want to send something else that the damage typing of the initial invader, try to say. But king damage here, the leak was a bit too big here. From whom? It was from FellFrog, leaking 64%. And so opposition not able to hold in the middle. We do have some king ups from FellFrog, relieving some of the pressure back here. Income sends on Luya and CiontX, but Luya is so far behind in workers here. 8 workers, while everybody else is at 12 workers. Alright, so the sends here, will they be effective? It's wave 8. There's your corridor. If you don't have a mole, it's probably a leak. A hold, sorry, not a leak. A hold if you don't have a mole on a position. 40 cents here will not be enough to do anything onto FellFrog. Alright, so the imps are coming from a position. Um, now this makes a bit more sense because the threat is to resist the wave long enough for the opponent to I lost my track of mind, sorry. Yes, the imps are more um, comprehensible because they have different typing in attack now. Uh, and now it's just a question of if Luyanara is able to read that. Uh, well, he's going for a gate. Gates have been known to be surprisingly good in these kind of stuff. And let's see here if the mold can do work. And it looks like with you have a death cap, you have aquas. It's only a question of if this front line is good enough. Uh, but on wave 9, I mean, wait, does that reach the other side of the wave? It does not. That is terrible. Now everything joining up onto the death cap. We'll clear most of it, but not all of it, because he decided to cut his losses with AoE. And so this will be a leak from CiontX. Luyanara doing pretty well against those imps. The gates have been known to be deceptively strong. Wait, that is a hold, even with the aquas. So the high push of opposition and FellFrog fell short here, and you do have Luyanara and Caesar and CiontX doing pretty well in this game. Still going for some income, so will be interesting to see what comes out of that. We do have a lot of worker push from CiontX, and that might hurt them in the long run because opposition and the team have already shown their ends. Yeah, the income sense can be good, especially when you are ahead in workers that game, which is the case of CiontX. So him going income sense, I do not care. Luyanara going for it though is a little bit more problematic. Yes, you get some leaks here, but you remove the pressure of a possible huge moment plan. Uh, and yeah, so still we did have a leak here. That is from CiontX. A lot of AoE damage, so quite understandable. Preparing for with 11 more than 10. But yeah, I mean, Luya perfectly holds that. We do have CiontX pushing very, very aggressively. And still income sense here from CiontX, so he's killing a little bit Luyanara. But yeah, apart from that, we do have king ups, but everybody seems to be saving except from Luyanara and Swelleye. Alright, king ups are coming in. You have alright, wave 11 here. Um, we did have, yeah, the income sense here. not really effective. And full king ups here, I didn't see that. Full king ups from opposition. FellFrog trying to scale with Creditor all around except from FellFrog, going for the Star Carder instead. Star Carders with Magician, with Sorcerer is quite good. And so only a leak. There was a leak from whom? Yeah, only from a position by taking the Creditor, rendered himself a bit weak here. We do have the income recent here from CiontX and Luyanara. All these income sends are benefiting CiontX a little bit more because and as well as taking Creditor, he went for those income sends quite a lot, and he is um, he is helped uh, by this extra income to greed those creditor stacks as much as possible, while the others stay low workers to try and get it as well. FellFrog, they know that you want Sorcerer, so he is able to push, but with these kind of leaks, he will not be able to hold much. But this is a hold, so I'm lying here. This is a hold from FellFrog, and this is a hold also for the income for opposition. So still income sense, just using as much as possible the creditor. I mean, look at this. CiontX will be so far overvalued after that. Wait. Oh my god, yes. He can even spend 100 more. No, it's 50 more. So looking pretty decent for him. But wait, did he? He pushed one worker to no cent. That's how crazy this is for them. Income king up, he has a worker lead, so he can continue doing that without receiving much pressure. But now this will change because you do have FellFrog and opposition pushing a lot of workers as well. Alright, we do have the Sends on 14. Pack Leader Mole. That is against a Creditor. So I do expect Luyanara and CiontX to be able to hold those Sends quite easily. We will be 300 overvalued by CiontX. That's just crazy. Just smash those Aquas. Okay, he's gonna leak despite being 3k value. But Luyanara should be able to hold with the Steeds, the White Mane, and the Gate. Looking like a pretty strong combo here with also a Trinity Archer. But yeah, pushing 3 workers to no cent. Yes, you're one. I mean, I don't disagree with the push, but when you have no good units and you build for 15, that is just a plain up mistake. Because now you're going to need to leak and give the shutdown goal, which is not something that you really want. And so yeah, a little bit of a disappointing leak here. Would have preferred to see him hold, um, but we do have Luyanara holding strong here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he asked for it a little bit, like not respecting the fact that they could come on 14, not respecting the fact that he already has a source of magic damage, not respecting the fact that he does not have a front line for that said magic damage. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just when you take Creditor, yes, you will be overvalued, but you want to wait for the opponent to send you before pushing those workers and do something aggressive because you are already in the lead. You see that from your shutdown. So a bit of a misplay, I believe, by CiontX by that. He does continue to go for income. He is ahead in workers as also. Um, but we do have Luyanara overbuilding by quite a bit here because if you reach the critical mass of gates with Steed, you pretty much cannot leak anything, especially with a white mane buff. But yeah, opposition is getting fed a little bit, so let's see if CiontX will be saving, because this means that some double workers can come in from opposition, and because of that, I mean, it just keeps opposition in the game. That's what it does right now. So we do have a hold from opposition. Does he decide to go for some workers? 26 workers. And does it stop there? Like only 26? Okay. But he will be undervalued. He's quite weak next wave, so I think it is just quite okay. FellFrog is pretty weak as well on 17, so they need to only think about wave 17 right now. They need to build those extra tanks. They need to protect those quotas, because those are the damage on wave 17 for him. And what is what? Okay, so trying to go for a proactive play here, and opposition is pushing like quite a large margin here. He's continuing to push. Is he continuing to push here? Okay, he stopped pushing. But what is this play here? What is that? Okay, he's pushing a little bit shy on the push though. Okay, he's going to stat 38 workers, which means that this will leak for sure. This will leak for sure. What about the other side? Two witches. I mean, can do decent. The only problem is that there is a white main buff. And with white main buff, this is such a terror. And here, 4 flowers. I mean, a lot of magic damage, so this might leak as well. So it might be the first one to leak. But opposition is pretty much dead here. FellFrog pretty much dead. But CiontX is very close to value. The only problem is that most of his damage is magic, which isn't that great here. What saved him is that there's pretty much only income sense and auras. So that might help him clear. But let's see here, the Centaur. Centaur is just attacking a single target though. So this is looking not as bad as I thought here for opposition. But it is still a leak. It is also still a leak on FellFrog. And due to the pure value, we do have a hold from CiontX, despite it being with a lot of magic damage. And is this a clear from Luyanara, or is this a leak or hold? Looks like the. Oh my God, this is so much damage from those Helions and Night Crawlers, and nope, this is still a leak from Luyanara. 3 witches, quite powerful. Now there's a winning chance, okay? Now there is a winning chance of FellFrog and opposition if they go 19. 19 is the strongest wave of FellFrog. It is the weakest of CiontX and Luyanara. Do they spot it? Do they spot the weak wave here? So we do have opposition pushing, FellFrog pushing. Everybody pushed quite a bit here. But look at the insane value that CiontX will be having on next wave. So despite him not being the best on wave 19, he will still have insane value. While the other team is struggling for value. So despite him having a good frontline, having good damage in the Trinity and the Daphne, this might still result into something quite bad. But let's see. Nobody went for 18, so the call is probably 19 for everybody. Is there an aggressive push from anybody? CiontX did push quite a lot, but he is overvalued, while opposition pushed quite a lot, but he is undervalued. Luyanara not deciding to push here, and Shaman coming up. Witches from opposition trying to get rid of those. He needs to add some frontline now. He needs to spam those DTs. Like, 3 witches, perfectly fine. But, I mean, Shaman, Witch could have been better. Spam DTs even better because you want to delay all this damage to reach the wave. So the best delay is the DTs against this much magic damage. But look at this, 4 L gates from Luyanara. This will be very hard to leak. CiontX will be undervalued here. He doesn't have much of a frontline to speak of. He's investing into wave 20. So, I mean, this is not a terrible call because on paper, you see a lot of nature defense here. It's just that 19 attacks so fast, normally with Shaman, that you can leak that quite easily. But he's going for mass witches, which I don't know if it is correct play. So, I mean, Luyanara does receive the bigger sand. Opposition is the second largest. Then you have CiontX, and then you have FellFrog. So FellFrog does have the better defense, but is that enough time, enough delay for him to hold the longest? We do see here CiontX crumbling. It's all about Luyanara. Luyanara can delay the longest quite easily. We do have the leak here. We do have the leak here on FellFrog in a position, and so this will be game because Luyanara is able to hold the longest with the gates with white main, and it is even close to a hold for Luyanara. But I doubt it will be. There's still 5 dire toads here. We still have 3 witches going out here, and it will be a leak, but very late one. So big delay was crucial from Luyanara to win the game here against opposition and FellFrog. So yeah, quite sorry, I was quite tired this game, but we did manage to get through. I did try to cast another, but the game dropped midway through, so I had to get a restart one, and so I had very little energy to go with it. But I do hope it was still a good one, and it will be on YouTube to keep up this daily cast going. And so on that, I'm gonna say thank you for watching, and see you next time.